I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I have a small business called GW Solutions, where I write grants for businesses and nonprofit organizations, as well as teaching organizations who are interested in how to find and secure funding on their own. So I'm going to be bringing some of that that experience, some of the information and resources to the members of the Mishawaka Business Association to add value to those people who are actively taking steps to expand their business. So you're going to hear me say that a lot for organizations that are doing the work to grow and expand. So as a grant writing and kind of funding specialist, my message to you today is that funding is out there for you. So if you're going to hear a lot of fake things, people out there to get your money, but there are real opportunities for small businesses. Funding that can help support your business, that can help you expand, that can help you grow, do new programs. What I do want to caution you that funding is not out there to sustain your business. So you're not going to use grants to run your day-to-day operations, to help you do things that your actual sales are supposed to be doing. So if you have a business, you have a product, you have a service, you need to be focused on growing your sales. However, grants are out there to help push you forward. And that's what I call them, supplemental funding. And they are to supplement your actual income, but not to replace it or sustain it. So all loans are not bad. I know as small business owner, we like to shy away from loans, but one of the things with grant funding is a lot of organizations do not give grant funds to organizations that are not bringing in funding already on their own. So sometimes a loan can help you smooth out your income so that you can become more sustainable, more steady, and you can qualify for more grants. So do not be afraid of other types of funding. Grants are just one of the types of supplemental funding. Loans are another. One of the things I want to encourage you is, even if your business is not where you want it to be today, you are owner of a real business. If you are doing work out there in the community, you have a product, you have a service, you have clients, you have customers, you are a real business owner. It may not be where you want it to be, but you are a real business owner. And with that said, there are funding opportunities out there for you. Funding opportunities from concept, I just have an idea, all the way to I'm already making up to a few $1 million. Yes, you could still get awards. But you have to be prepared to win. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later, what it looks like to be prepared. But I want you to keep that in mind, because this is not something you just get up off the couch to get a grant award. You need to have preparation. You need to have a thought process behind it, and we're going to go over those things today. So here are some of the reasons that small business run into trouble, right? We have a lot of small businesses in the United States, and they make up most of all businesses in the country. So we are not alone. This is why there are a lot of opportunities, because not only are there a lot of small businesses make a lot of impact in our country by hiring, generating income, and supporting communities that they're based in. Your average annual earnings for small business owners are between $32,000 and $147,000. So if you're somewhere in there, you're right in there with everybody else. 78% of small businesses survive their first year. You may have heard some dire, statistics about small business failing, but actually 78% of them actually survive their first year. So don't be afraid if you're in your first year and things are not going as planned. Most of you are going to make it, but those next years are more critical. 38% of businesses fail because their cash reserves, exhausting their cash reserves and their inability to secure additional capital. And this is where that preparedness comes in. because you need to understand how to even out your cash flow so that you can make it through the tough times, because as any small business owner knows, things are cyclical. There are high times and there are low times, and you have to make sure you're ready for those low times and you prepare for them when things are going good. So, but 67%, more than 67% of small business never deliver a positive return on their investment. So they just operate and languish without doing the work necessary to get themselves into the position where they can have a surplus. And that's where grants could come in. So I want to just show you kind of where business funding can come from. So grants usually give you about 25% of your operating expenses. So if you're thinking, I want a grant to cover my whole business, I want you to look at that. 25% is what you can really expect to get. So if your budget is $100,000, you can expect to get $25,000 in grants. So that's a realistic expectation for how much grants you can get. Now from banks, you can get up to 85% of your funding. They want you to come with some money too, right? But it's actually less than what a grant would expect you to come with. You can give investors. Some investors may give you more than this, but the average investor in the research that I did recently was 30%. But the owner, you yourself, are average putting in about 70% of what your business needs, especially in those beginning years. It's gonna come out of your pocket. So, need you to have this in mind when you are considering grants. We're gonna be looking at what you're bringing to the table, what other resources that you're going to use to finance your business, and then a portion that could come in from grants. So, I want to talk to you about a few funding opportunities that are available right now for a small business grant. So, the Awesome Fund. Cindy talked about that in actually a different presentation.
Right, a couple weeks ago.
Yes, so they do grants of $1,000 given to organizations, no strings attached basis, working on projects that help make their community awesome. You literally can Google Awesome Fund and find out information, but Cindy actually has a link for our local, and they do it every quarter.
Yeah, they do it every quarter here in South
Yes,
Bend.
and so the most recent one just passed, and so the next one will be is it January?
Yeah, I think so. November, December, January, February.
So you can, who in here can use $1,000? I know I could.
You mean like right now, or?
Anytime.
Well, in 3 months.
If you can use $1,000 for your business, for marketing, for supplies, for some radio ads, if you're a small business owner, you should be able to figure out how you can use $1,000. So that definitely could be helpful. The Amplifier Grant is also about $1,000. It also goes to small businesses working to make a country a better place. I believe this one is a monthly grant, so you can go back and apply for these multiple times. And then Galaxy of Stars is also a monthly grant. It ranges between $2,500 and about $4,700. It does come, this one kind of does come with strings attached. They want to provide you services, but if you sign up with them and you win their grant, they expect you to do some services with them, but you also get a cash prize. So these are some real opportunities for small business owners that are available right now or in the very near future. So just to prove to you that I can pull a few out of my hat on a short notice. So let's say you pull up those applications and you want to fill them out. Here's a couple strategies for you to make sure that you have a winning strategy. Number one, set yourself apart. A lot of people are just going to pull up those applications and start typing, and they're going to click submit. I'm going to suggest to you that you don't do that. I want to ask you to prepare. Write about why you started your business. What is your mission statement? What is your vision? What would you use the money for? So don't go off what's on top of your head. Make sure you prepare. Show that you have some support. How do you show support? Has anybody invested in your business? Can you get a letter of support from some of your clients, a testimonial saying how good work you did? Do you have any partnerships that you can attest to? Those show that you have support from your community, that they like what you're doing, they want what you're doing, they need what you're doing. And then be visible. Donors want to see what you're doing, and they want others to see what you're doing if they donate to you. So if you're quiet and no one knows in the community who you are and what you do, that's not a good look for the donors. They want to see that you're out there active. Do you have your social media? Are you posting regularly? Do you have a website? Know people that can help you with that. And then make sure you're out in the community building connections. Things like this. Today, when you leave here, you should talk to some people you don't know. Get some business cards. But most importantly, follow up. It's not enough to collect business cards and to say hi to people. You need to follow up. Because people not only, you need to know them, but they need to know who you are so that you come up in conversations in rooms where you're not even there. So, funding, of course, doesn't just happen. We just talked about planning. One of the things that you could do for a more substantial grant, and for people who I write grants for, if they don't have these things, I do send them to start working on them so that we can make a robust grant submission. So number one, I want you to gather some data. Gather some data from your clients. What do they like? What do they not like? Why did they choose you? Who does your target population look like? What are their demographics? Do some investment. Do you have a logo? Do you have your online presence? And we talked about that. And definitely do some marketing. Even myself, that's not my specialty area, so I'll have to get help with that. So if you need to do that, this is where some of that money will come in. Answering that question, what would you use money for? And then basically be consistent with it. I want to tell you that a lot of grant applications take, a lot of winning grant awards take multiple applications. So you're not a lot of times going to get it on your first round. I know some people go, have good success on their first go at it, but that's not the typical experience. So if you want to actually win awards, you're going to have to make a commitment to submitting. So you need to submit, and you need to submit often. Once you get a draft together, it doesn't take that long, so that planning in the first place expedites the process. But once you get it started, be committed to continuing it, and you will see success. So going to things like this, I'm going to, for my own, personal experience, networking has been one of the most profitable things that I did for my business. Coming out in the community, meeting people and following up with them, building relationships, that has really resulted in the biggest increase in my business. Is there anyone else here who's experienced something like that from networking? Yeah, because when you make those connections, the people start talking about you, and then referrals start coming in without you doing anything. Word of mouth is a big referral lead generator, so you need to be out. It doesn't cost you much to come out, to rub elbows, shake hands, and collect business cards. So make that a commitment. So I want to talk to you about joining the Mishawaka Business Association. So it is also an opportunity for you to interact with a group of like-minded peers, so of other entrepreneurs who have invested in their business, who want to connect, find new customers, want to find out what's going on in their community, and they also want to grow and build. So in the Mishawaka Business Association, we're going to be working on helping you do that. We're going to try to help our members connect. We're going to help our members do marketing to each other. And it's not always to make them your customer, but they have a network themselves that they can share your information with. So it's not always a direct sale. Sometimes it is expansion to a much larger network. We're gonna work to impact our community. So we're gonna be talking to you, find out how we can help you.
Oops,
Sorry.
that's
So
okay.
when you guys get information in your emails and we're asking you questions about how we can help you, I am literally reaching out to try to find ways where I can add value, Mishawaka Business Association can add value to your business. So please respond, because we want to actually make a difference for you and not to just have meetings and gatherings and not to see your business grow. And that's our real goal, is to help you experience exponential growth. And that means you can see it, you can feel it in your pockets, you can feel it when you go out, people recognize you. We want that to happen for you, and that's what we're gonna be working toward. So, as a small business, what should you be doing right now to prepare? So, there's some essential documentation that you need, right? Everybody's filling out your annual entity reports with
Yep.
the state, everybody getting those done?
Say what?
Everybody, if you have a nonprofit, you're filling out your 990s and 990 EZs. Very easy to do. If it's not easy for you, you think it's rocket science, hire an accountant or do it yourself and then hire an accountant to review it. That's cheaper. Did you get those new BIO forms from the IRS if you have an LLC? Anybody has LLC in here? I do.
I do. Actually, I posted the website on 1 Million Cups Mishawaka's
1 Million
Facebook
Cups.
page.
So did you hear that? On 1 Million Cups Facebook page, there is a link to the federal forms that all LLCs have to fill out before January 2025. So, what's that?
FINCEN.
Yes, FINCEN. So it's free to fill it out. It takes a few minutes. It's not very cumbersome, but it is required. So you need to make sure you get that form filled out. Do you guys, does everyone have a strategic plan for their business? So you have some goals and some to-do list objectives that you want to be accomplishing, that you can look back and say, I'm moving toward my ultimate goal. I'm taking steps, I can check this off. And you're checking your strategic plan regularly to make sure you're hitting your goals.
Hey, what do we do with the strategic plan?
Then we need to sit down and get that together. And then so one of the things, thank you for bringing that up, is for organizations who may not have a strategic plan, that's maybe some of the education that the MBA could help provide. So I will make a note of that, and then I'll put it out there for other organizations too.
So also your business plan
Yes.
is your strategic plan, and a
Yes.
one-page business plan is also that.
Yes, if you have a business plan and yes, your strategic plan may be embedded. Yes. So if you have goals and objectives with timelines and deliverables that you can go back and reference and make sure you're stepping it off, then you can use that. And then, so anybody ever done a resume for your business?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is your capacity statement, and if you're doing contracts, a lot of times they ask for those. So if you haven't done one of those in the past, that may be a place where we can help you do like a class to help you get those started. So
That's
these
a
are the
great idea.
things that you can put into place. But other documents, of course, we just talked about your business plan, right? Your financial statements, profit loss, cash flow, and things like that. You got those things in place, and you're doing those every year. We do those for our taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'd like to say one that's not up there,
Go ahead.
an operating agreement,
Yes.
especially if there are multiple, people in it. I
Okay.
mean, and I just wanna give a quick example. I know somebody that had her own business, construction business. She was doing, subcontract work and everything, and she got married, and she never created she just established the LLC and never created a operating agreement, and got married and put him on as a member as well. So they were just both authorized members, and now they're splitting up. And now, where do you go? Who owns, she's got, her son involved is part of it. you can't just state it. You have to put it in a document and have it, and then now they can go and say, well, yeah, he actually gets so much percent and he gets so much percent. Or in the case of a death or just
True.
somebody leaving the company, I mean, just stuff happens. It's really important.
That is true, and even as a single member LLC, I did our operating agreement too. I just had my lawyer do it all when we did our startup documents, so.
The other thing with LLCs, that really to get the benefit, there should be more than one member.
Yes, because a single member LLC is just a sole proprietorship, but it looks nice. A financial plan, so one of the things, COVID taught a lot of people a lot of lessons, and a lot of people didn't have financial plans for those hard times. So you may wanna, since we've all been through it now, you may wanna think about a financial plan. If something similar happens, do you have investment accounts? Do you have other streams of income that don't depend maybe on the face-to-face or online sales of your product? Just think about shoring up your business, even yourself personally, if it's your main source of income, so that if something like this happens, there are some backups in place. And then so much, an audit every year is recommended, especially in grants of certain sizes. It's required in larger grants, but I still recommend that if you can afford it, to get your finances audited on a regular basis, and especially if you plan on going after grant funding, because like I said, it's often recommended and many times required. So if you plan on getting grants, consider getting an audit to help you put your finances in order, so that you can understand if there are any discrepancies and how you should be doing things better. All right. So again, so MBA is kind of, it's expanding right now. So I want to talk to you about why you can join. Of course, we're going to be putting out vital education to make sure you know about critical information. Again, we're going to be seeking information from you, and we want to know how we can provide the services you feel like you need, so make sure you respond. Marketing opportunities, we're going to be expanding those for all types of businesses. In the past, you may have noticed a focus on product-based businesses, but we're going to make sure our service-based businesses also have opportunity to market. We're going to be looking at growth opportunities, and that's going to include grant options. So members will be getting notices for grants on a regular basis, and then opportunities to work with me in group and one-on-one settings to get applications submitted. Of course, networking opportunities, meetings, events, and gatherings, but also critical community connections. We want to help our members to connect with each other, to form partnerships, collaborations, and ways that you can build capacity together. And so that concludes my presentation. If you guys have any questions, I will be here at 1 Million Cups. You can definitely come back on Wednesdays. This is my contact information. Feel free to contact me anytime. Again, you will be hearing from me in the Mishawaka Business Association newsletters. And if you have not joined, please consider joining. The cost is very reasonable, and the benefits are improving and coming, so this is a great time for you to participate.
I needed to know, how much does it cost to join the Mishawaka Business Association?
And before I rattle off erroneous numbers, let me get back to you. I'll definitely make that available, but there is a low fee, but I just can't remember them off the top of my head.
Is it gonna stay the same?
Yes, it's gonna stay the same for now.
Okay, it's $75 if you live or have a business in Mishawaka.
Okay.
And it's $100 if you live outside of Mishawaka,
Okay.
a year.
Also depends on how many employees you have.
Yes.
Yeah, there is, I'm not
for
sure
small.
about that, we
Yeah.
have to
I
check.
think I paid $150
Oh,
because
okay.
of the
How
number
many
of
you have.
employees I have.
Yes.
Oh, so how many do you have?
I've got, I had 6 when I joined.
Okay, so, okay, good,
Must be like
thanks.
1 to 3.
It's definitely worth it. Like
Yes.
the communication, the exposure, it's
Yes.
a very minimal amount. The professionalism,
Yes.
just everything around it sets a good Yeah, it's like, you're gonna pay me for this after. It's just a good thing to be in, and it's way cheaper than like the South Bend
Yes.
Chamber and other
Yeah.
stuff, so.
Yeah,
That's a one-time?
One year, every year.
Every-
Oh, every year, okay.
Yeah.
1 year.
I
So-
also love Mishawaka Business Association, and I'm on the board, so this is a non-paid advertisement. I think the people in this community are really great. I think the business try to help each other. The Mishawaka Business Association has got your back. They were the only organization that, of a, what would you call it, like a chamber type organization in our area that supports the Women Entrepreneur Summit and does a lot of things for us. So I really appreciate everything they do. So I think it's worth it.
It is. Cindy's biased because she's on the board.
I'm on the board. It's
I'm
not
not on the
paid.
board. I have 2 businesses, and it's been really helpful.
Yeah, it's been
They
great.
also have some great events that you can participate in, you can help sponsor, things that are giving for, like, holiday times and stuff that help families and things like that, and then also just events like golf outings
Yeah.
and stuff too.
I've been part of an organization that used MBA before, and the other cool thing about it is we were able to post our events on their webpage that are upcoming, and so that was just something else that I definitely appreciated about them.
Good idea.
The other quick question I wanted to ask you, if you're not a business or in the process of forming, should you join already then, or do you need to be a business?
I would say join because there is a individual membership also.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, you can just get connections and also learn about what's going on and get out there and start networking early. Start collecting the business cards. Start with your feet hit the ground, you're off running.
Yes.
We all listen through different lenses, and I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, but also maybe a shameless plug. When you're applying for grants, would it be beneficial to work with a writer that can help tell your story?
So, it is sometimes beneficial, but, I know kind of what you do.
Right.
You are a storyteller, so I would say you can feel free to give it a shot. That's why I give the grant notices out, because some people aren't afraid to go ahead and give it a
Right.
shot. And if you're not, I say go for it.
Oh, are you asking, should I hire you to help me with my grant story?
Hey, if
Is
you're
that
not,
what we're getting to
if
here?
you're not good at talking about yourself, I'll help talk about you.
Yes, if you're good at it,
Right.
sir, I
Well, it's
say
good
you
to get
go
your
for it,
story
yes.
down.
It is,
Yep.
it is.
Oh, another question, do you have to live in Mishawaka?
You do not.
Okay,
You do
just
not
want to
have to
clarify
live
that.
in Mishawaka, but it is a different price if you live outside of Mishawaka.
Okay.
Again, I'm not gonna make up numbers, but if you do want to, find it out, please contact me and I will get you all the information.
Mhm.
Yes,
Online, there's applications in the back
yes, I think.
and online,
Okay,
so, awesome.
all right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening attentively and participating today. I hope you enjoyed the breakfast